Welcome to the FFL Weekly, your one stop for all things fantasy football. Only here will you find expert analysis, magnificent takes, and in-depth reviews that will leave you wanting more. Join us on the season-long quest to find out who will be crowned the next FFL champion. Now, here are your hosts, Mark AT9 and Power Surge 55.
And there it is. Welcome everyone to another FFL Weekly show. Let's get Mark AT's picture on here on the screen. Welcome in, Mark AT.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on? I think we got Rai in here. Welcome, Rai. Everyone else must be sleeping. Appreciate the late show tonight. Having some car trouble.
A little special edition.
Fortunately, the issues have not been completely resolved. So, again, donation bar at the bottom of your screen. Feel free. Send some love, you know. Power Surge needs a new car. Anyway, welcome in. After Dark edition. Great words from Rai. Feisty Little Asian, welcome in as well. We got K Twilling 4 in the background talking shit. Welcome in, K Twilling 4. Let's jump into the weekly recap, Adam.
All right, Andrew, let's do it.
Week 12 saw some interesting battles, some really important ones as well as we get down to the bottom, or end of the season, excuse me. We'll start with Dark Brandon against Control at the Feet, and Doc Robert had a narrow victory. Andrew, yet again, with another loss. Just all-around interesting matchup here. Murray versus who was on whose team. Murray was on Andrew's team earlier in the season. Nix was on Rob's. McCaffrey Rob had, but he got rid. Andrew had Hunt. Same with a Doomsday. Both teams had him. Andrew had Evans. I don't know about Palmer and Myers, both garbage players, but Myers did well. Debo, the guy Rob got in that horrible trade, along with Hunt, did not perform, but his Packers defense did. And that was the difference. Andrew had another shit showing from his wide receiver core. McCaffrey, 5 points. Supposed to be his dark horse going into the end of the season. He shit the bed.
Unfortunately.
Just
another one of those narrow wins. Less barely a point.
Devontae Smith was a late scratch Sunday night. Andrew had to put in Joshua Palmer, excuse me. Another narrow loss for Andrew, but huge win for Rob. He was on a downward spiral, and that gets him a critical win, as we'll allude to later in the show. But 7-5, he's in a good spot. Still a lot of work to do, but much better than 6-6. Speaking of 6-6, game of the week was Sauce Freakman versus Mark AT. Tough ending for Mark AT, scoring second most points this week, but a loss to Ross, who just went all out with 134. Mahomes finally showing up, like QB1's been all year. He's been shit, but huge game from him. Daniels, another huge game. But Barkley, obviously, the difference in this one, 42 points, unbelievable. Ross's team outside of that really didn't show up. Nico had a good game. Kicker and defense played well.
Had
but
a
so
good
did
defense.
Adams. Kittle's been TE1 for really all season, so great play there. And McLaurin went toe-to-toe for Collins. Ridley, just another good game. I don't know what happened to this guy. All of a sudden he can play.
He got a good pep talk.
Really the difference here. Mixon shit the bed for him this week, and he couldn't do that. A 24-point performance instead of a 4 would have tied it up. So nothing for Adam to be ashamed about. He's in a good position. Great showing. Second most points this week. Tough loss, but huge win for Ross.
Good job, Ross. Good win.
Another huge win. Scooter Maine against Madden M. Both 6-6 teams going in this one, or 6-5, excuse me. So that's obviously a critical game for both teams. Scott was able to pull it out with a surprise showing from none other than Hawk Tua T. 28 points out of nowhere. Along with Josh Jacobs, another 28 points. Scott thought he'd be sneaky picking up Jonathan Brooks, who Andrew carried all season, only to drop him. But he shit the bed there. But Scott did not need him this week. Good game from Chubb. Brian Robinson, I think maybe got hurt there, Mike. I don't know if you're in the chat and comment. Not sure what happened with him. Jefferson shit the bed. Hate to see that from Mike. You don't want to see that going forward. Quentin Johnson, he dropped like a touchdown pass. That was embarrassing. 0 for 5 receptions. Hate to see it. Trey McBride, he's another tight end 1. I saw Mike that he hasn't had a touchdown yet, but he like leads tight ends in receiving yards. Crazy stat. So just tough showing from Mike on a couple of players, really 3 players. That was really the difference. So I'm not Mike's still in it, obviously, but some hope for him and Scott with a huge win. Jeff Probst, the winner of Survivor League, continues to win games, unfortunately, for us tenured owners. Hate seeing it for Rai. Another dominating win here against the Bucks. And, Kelsey, Kate Twilling, if you tune into the show, you would know this thing called Survivor League that Ryan won. And in honor of that, he changed his name to Jeff Probst, the host of Survivor. So tune in next week, Kate Twilling.
Better performance from Stroud.
Stroud turned around a little bit for Nate. Dobbins had a bad game, honestly. He had a chance there going into Monday night against Henry, but Dobbins could not go toe-to-toe against Henry. Ryan has started Geno Smith and still able to pull out a win. Lamb, Pickens, all bad games, really, but average all around. But Rams defense -3 versus 12 for Tampa Bay. That's 15-point difference, and there's your game right there. Third least points this week for Ryan, but he does squeak out the win against a down and out the Bucks team. But a big win for Ryan nonetheless. Another big win, Team Dash going against Raging Clue. Another close loss. Hate to see it. Really do. Aaron Jones showed up this week for Dash where he didn't last week. Kevin, excuse me. Just all around mid games from his players. Tyreek Hill had a good game last week, but not this week. DJ Moore kind of coming out of nowhere for Alex. That really carried him. Puka, obviously, and then Hawkinson stepped up. Wow, it's great to see him. Andrews is kind of back in as well, so maybe next year some tight ends will emerge again where it was a black hole earlier this season. So 13-point swing on defense, 2 in favor of Kevin, but unfortunately he wasn't able to pull it out. So Kevin's season's done at 2-10, along with Nate and Andrews, but Alex still in the thick of things at 6-6.
Welcome in, Doc Rob.
Yes, thank you, Rob. In the chat, glad I started late just tuning in, Rob. We did discuss your victory over Dark Brandon first thing, so congrats on your win. Last game was we did call this game of the week earlier because it was
most definitely
1 seed versus 2 seed, Jess versus Brandon here, and it turned out to come down to Monday night game of the week. Showdown between Jackson and Herbert. It was a little interesting to see Brandon start Herbert. Not gonna lie, he did play the Bengals, but outside of that, Herbert's been pretty bad all year. Darnold 21 points would have been a 4-point difference, and that wouldn't have made a difference because he still won. But nonetheless, Brandon starting Herbert was an interesting play. Jess didn't get love from St. Brown Cup when she played Andrew. They hate you at 30 points. This week only 6 and 12. Connor with a bad showing as well. So I think Jess is in a good spot. Just needs a rebound here. Will lost 22 points. Jeez,
wow.
Hey, maybe he's the real Brandon Aubrey, huh, Brandon?
Mm-hmm.
So going forward, I think Tony Pollard has been bad the last couple weeks. He had a breakout this week. So Jess has too many players. She doesn't know who to start. But nonetheless, another close loss. And both these teams are doing well in great position. Yeah, Jess, kind of comments, I picked the wrong running back. You're right, Jess. But that happens. So that was week 12. We'll jump into the challenge stats here. Week 12 was, look at these TDs. team starting QB with the most TD passes. And nonetheless, that was Scott with the aforementioned Hawk Tua Tagovailoa. Is that how you say it, Adam? With 4 touchdowns this week. Fortunately, none to friggin' Tyreek Hill, which Kevin needed, but a couple to that tight end that friggin' Rob had, so that's why he won. And then Ross, 134 points there. Great week from Ross. So $5 coming to both of you gentlemen. And before we go to week 13, we'll do a little quick playoff standings update. So we can see here, I've updated the standings with points as well. So Captain Gator wants the 10-2 with his point score. A little less. He's about 4th highest point scored, I believe. So still respectable. And then Jess and Adam, very interesting here. Excuse the
coming for it, Jess.
Excuse the typo. That should be a 3 for Adam. But Jess 8-4 with the 1,226.5. Adam 8-4, 1,221.18. So I can't even do the math. 5.32 difference there in points. That's going to be a nail biter coming down if they have the same record here at the end of the season. It could go either way over the last 2 weeks. So make sure you start your lineups to the best of your abilities. And then 4 seed Scooter Maine moving up at 7-5 now. He's got a 100-point lead on Doc with the record wise there with the points. So Doc's still hanging on 7-5. He's got to watch out though because he's got 1,061, and right below him, Rai, who's jumped into the 6th seed now with his win, 1,207. So clear 140 points over Rob there, and right behind.
But he still fall to the 6th though, wouldn't he?
Well, no, Adam, that's a good point because if you scroll over here to In the Hunt, Rob is also behind Ross at 6-6 with he's behind him by 115. He's behind Mike by 60 or so, 70, and he's behind even Alex by 12 points. So if Rob loses a game and any of these guys win, Rob he's down. He's going from 5th to 9th. So Rob needs to win in the worst way going forward here. So Rob has no room for error, shall we say. Speaking of that, Adam, we'll jump into some playoff scenarios going into week 13 now.
A lot, so bear with us.
I will. It's a lot. So I will note here that this does not pull in point differential tiebreakers. You guys don't pay me enough for that to do that analysis. So I'll look to dig into that for the final week. But for this week, we're just looking at wins and losses. So Brandon, Captain Gator, has clinched a playoff spot, 10-2. He cannot miss the playoffs. So congrats to Brandon for first team officially clinching his playoff spot here in the 2024 FFL season. He can clinch the top seed / bye, so with winning one of his last 2. So as long as he wins one game, he'll be 2 up on Jess and Adam, so he cannot miss the bye. Or if Jess or Adam loses one game, he will still clinch a bye. Or win point for total differential over Jess and Adam. So if they all end up with the same record, as long as he beats one of them 2 with the point total differential, he will still go to the bye. So a lot of scenarios there in terms of the bye, but Brandon has clinched a playoff spot. Now Jess and Adam with the same record right now, so they can clinch a playoff spot with winning one of the last 2. But even that said, they're still in a good spot because if they get 2 losses from Rob and Scott or just 1 loss from all of Ryan, Ross, Mike, and Alex, then they're fine. Or if they lose out and these teams win out, including Rob and Scott, 4 of these 6, shall we say, they all end up with an 8-4 record. As long as they have the point differential total over those tied teams, they'll be fine. Same with Adam here. Scott and Rob, again, 7-5 records. They can clinch a playoff spot by winning out, no worries there, or winning one of the last 2 and win the point differential over any teams with a record tied. So if they end up 8-4, and they're in those point differentials. So Rob really needs to score some points here in the last couple weeks or win out. Otherwise, he's in big trouble. If he wins out, he's fine because the 60 cannot catch him. But if he loses one of two, he's in trouble. Oh, God. Hold on, folks.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my. Red alert, red alert.
Uh-oh. Hopefully we don't lose connection here.
Check the connection. We're plugged back in.
Welcome in.
And YouTube is still up. All right. Looks like we got 2 viewers right now. Looks like Rob or Jess dropped, and we maybe got Ryan on. So thanks for hanging on with us, folks. And last scenarios here: Ryan, Ross, Mike, and Alex, all 6 and 6. Ryan's in the best position, owning the point differential there. But as we noted a couple screens above, Ross is close behind him, so he still needs to score points and win some games here. So things will become much clearer, hopefully, in the last week. But that said, we'll jump back quickly here to the Week 13 preview. We still got the YouTube up. Anyone in the chat?
Yeah, it's up.
Alright, roger that. Yo, Mark AT in the chat. So, Week 13. I'll take some look at some big games here. So, Andrew versus Ross here. Not a huge game. For Andrew, obviously, he's out of it. But Ross needs to win and score a lot of points. So, he's got Mahomes going on the Black Friday game. We know the Bengals want to play that. This will be a long burner for Ross because Andrew's got Knicks going Monday of all days. So, we'll see what he could do. He's got Swift going tomorrow and Jamal Williams going tomorrow. A couple guys going Sunday. Sanders going tomorrow. So, Andrew also got Njoku going Monday. So, he's got London and Adams back. They were on bye last week. McCaffrey going Sunday night. Ross is gonna need to do some sitting around with all that turkey this weekend to see what happens. I like his chances there with Barkley and Mahomes really emerging. So I think Ross will take this one. And we got Raging Clue trying to play spoiler here against Brandon. Maybe make things interesting for him. Make him sweat a little bit on the bye situation. I'm rooting for him here this week. We got a lot of Thursday players: Jordan Love, Sean Johnson, Tyreek. Looks like Brand's got a chain going, so he's got Sutton on Monday. Some more Thursday guys for Brandon here. So pictures might look clear here going into the weekend. How Brandon's doing. A lot of Thursday game players for Brandon. So if Clue can hold him off, he might have a chance this weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Faisal Asian against Team Dash. So huge game here for Alex. Again, Jess looking to secure that playoff bye. So she's not going anywhere. She's not laying anyone down here. So obviously stud liner for Jess. We know what it is. Alex is going to need Hurts. He's really going to need his running backs to show up. If they don't show up, I don't think he's going to have a chance in this one. The Cup versus Nakua.
That would be an interesting one.
See what happens there. Give the edge to Jess on this one. Obviously, Alex is desperate for a win, though, so anything can happen. Jeff Probst versus You're Not Worthy. Jeff Probst, over 100 points projected. Wow. Scoot Main's going to need a lot to do here. He's got Allen back from bye. Montgomery going tomorrow. Getting that crazy trade. He's got Lamb going tomorrow as well. Scott's got Tua going tomorrow night with Jacobs on that head-to-head matchup there, Miami versus Green Bay. So there's some good, strong players here going Thursday. We'll see what happens coming out Thursday night and see where Scott stands. Whew. Brock Bowers and Xavier Worthy on Friday. Ooh, this is a tough one to call here. Brees Hall going Sunday for
I
Derek.
probably take Ryan with they got Fraud Allen. So.
Yeah, I got to go with Ryan. I mean, he's gonna jump up to 7-6 here. Oof, he's gonna be coming for those teams. Hey, Jess and Adam, I wouldn't get comfortable. He might be coming for the bye at this point.
Nah.
Last couple games here, we got Nate versus Mike. Great time for Mike to have this matchup, honestly. Nate's nowhere to be found. We got Mike here with 80 with low projection, but still projected to win. He's got Baker back in. That's his guy. Oh, Dobbins is 0 points. Otherwise, maybe Nate would be projected to win this one. So if he'll have to sub him in. See who he gets there. Chubb is Jefferson back. Oh, Dobbs is out, so we got another sub there. Oh, and he's got Burrow on the bench. Is he going to play Mayfield over Burrow here, Adam? He's got Pittsburgh D, though.
He does. The divisional games are always harder.
Kamara is back, 14 points projection. Man, I wish I had players like this. Kamala? I'm sorry.
Kamara.
Oh, okay.
Kamala.
Man. Well, it'll be interesting to see which lineups these players set. I'm going to give this one to Mike. I mean, he's desperate for a win, obviously. He's still in this thing. Nate's, I think he's on the beach somewhere, so give it to Mike. And then lastly here, wow, 103-point projection for Mark AT. Unbelievable. Chase Brown, 14-point projection. That's a little high if you ask me. Rob still going with Hubbard. Gotta respect it. He's gonna pull up Murray on Adam. Maybe a little karma for Adam for Andrew drafted Murray instead of Daniels like he should have, and maybe some karma there. We'll see. Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Deebo Samuel, big names, but Adam's toe to toe with him there. Jonnu Smith obviously had that huge game last week for
he did.
And
I was gonna pick him up, but he was.
Well, you got Kittle, so you're fine. Oof, this will be a good one. Hunt's on the bench. Wow, and Dowdle. What's going on here? Gotta respect it.
I mean,
Rob.
he had a good game last week.
On the
Hubbard
bench. Pittman's on the bench. All these players are on the bench. Man, how bad is my team then, huh? All right. Well, I want to give it to Rob. He's desperate for a win. I want to see him make the playoffs, but I think Adam's too much here in this situation. So I'm going to give it to Adam. All right, we'll jump back to challenges real quick before we close it out. I forgot to discuss Week 13, the big Gronk. Team with the highest scoring tight end. So, Rob, that would have been you last week, but open to anyone this week. Any closing thoughts, Adam?
As Doc Rob said, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have lots of good stuff to eat, and good luck for everybody in the playoff hunt. There'll definitely be some interesting games this week and also next week.
Yes, be some interesting matchups. I'm looking forward to going breakdown officially into Week 14 to see what people have to do to make it in. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.